Alright, let's do some stage, guys. This is NL-S-3. NL-S-3 is the stage that has a lot of casters in play, and in fact, the stage condition has super buffed them by stating that the cast range of Glimmering Touch is greatly increased. So the meaning of that is that for these three casters over here, that diamond-shaped AoE arts attack can be dealt at a much further area. Now, the size of the diamond is still going to stay the same, but they can basically target almost anyone on the map. For this caster, there's almost no limit in his range. So the targeting priority that he has is that he'll hit the last deployed operator on the map. For these two casters, however, their range priority is a bit different. They can't target the entire map, and instead, they can only hit about half to 3/4 of the map. So for example, for Viviana over here, when she spawns at right out of the stairs, if you place an operator on the leftmost side of the map, she can't target them because they're considered too far away. But for whoever that's within these two casters' range, they will get targeted as long as they are the last deployed within their range. So that is important information for you guys to note. Now let's look at the weaknesses of the enemies. In terms of physical damage, these 6 enemies over here are weak to physical damage. You can see it's B defense, B, C, D, and C. Whereas in terms of arts damage, these 4 enemies over here are weak to arts damage because this is B, D, and D. But some of them are very resistant, so these 3 cannot handle arts damage, and this guy cannot handle physical damage. So considering that more of them have weaknesses for physical damage, I would rather that we take a 6-star that tackles against that weakness. So I understand that there's a Ifrit strategy that's going around, which looks like the most sensible way to do this stage because Ifrit can target all 3 lanes. But I do find that that strategy is a little more micromanaging than this one that I'm about to show. So this Blaze strat might just be the better way for you guys to handle it. It's less fussy than before. So the challenge condition states that the Nova Nightclub members have reduced skill cooldowns, so that's the casters, and have greatly increased max HP. So that's quite an annoyance to handle in this stage. Now, this is a squad that we're going to be taking. So bring along a Blaze at skill 2 M3. If you don't have that, please borrow from a friend. And if you don't have a friend with that, then you can come to my Discord server to add someone. Next up, you're going to want a standard bearer. Now I have an E2 Myrtle that I brought over here. E2 Myrtle allows your Vanguard to heal a certain amount at every second, which is going to be very helpful in this stage. But if you don't have an E2 Myrtle, it's going to be fine. E1 rank 7 is okay. E1 skill rank 7 I meant, on Myrtle skill 1. But without the healing, these two Vanguards could have a little bit of trouble. If the Vanguard has a defense that's, I would say, lower than 330-ish, they will have a problem dealing against the small mobs. So, for example, Scavenger in this case, she only has a defense of 255. You're going to see her get pinched quite a bit by the smaller mobs. If you can, if you're using a weaker Myrtle, try to make sure that you bring a stronger Pioneer Vanguard in order to do the stage. But if not, just this setup will do. If you have higher rarity versions of these 3 operators, go ahead and bring them. Like if you want to bring a Siege, a Saga, a Texas, a Zima, yep, you can use them to replace Courier or Scavenger. And then afterwards, you'll want 2 single target medics. Bring the best one that you can ever have in your squad. The higher the rarity, the better it'll be. As long as they have big healing amounts, that's going to be good. You can also bring AoE medics as well, like for example a Telopsis and a Nightingale, but they probably need a module to have that increased tile that's in front. You'll see what I mean later on. And then afterwards, you can bring along a Lord. So this is a range card that can turn physical damage to arts damage. I don't recommend Midnight because Midnight can be a bit weak in this stage. Arene is the minimum rarity that you can go. If you've got a Lapland, a Aerscarp, a Silver Ash, or a Tones, you can use them to replace Arene. And then take a arts card. So Moose is an example. If you want to bring a Estacia, a Surtur, or a Sedoroka, you can use them to replace Moose. And then take a caster. Any caster will do. Steward is the cheapest example that I can give. If you want to bring a Kyuubi, an Aya, basically anyone that deals arts damage, even a slower supporter could be okay, like a Suzerain or Angelina. I'm perfectly fine, as long as they deal arts damage. And then afterwards, take a defender. Now this defender, either they have high health, they are able to self-heal, or they have high resistance. So examples of such defenders will include the following. Like you can use Liskam because she has a resistance talent on E2. You could use Hoshiguma. She does have a decently high health, which can be nice in this stage. You can take Saria, who self-heals. You can take Asbestos on skill 1 or Metal on skill 2, because these are two examples of defenders who can combat against arts damage very well. Or you can take a Mountain, or even a Silver Ash on skill 2 in order to get some self-healing in the way. As long as your defender can resist the damage of the casters, then it's going to be pretty okay. And then take a fast redeploy, like a Gravel for example. You want it to be a Project Raid or a Phantom, I'm fine, but I think a Gravel is the cheapest example that you can go for that wouldn't be too difficult to use in the stage. Now there are 2 free slots over here. If you have other operators in mind that you want to bring, please go ahead and do so. If you have some strong people like a Surtur, a Chen Alter, a Skadi Alter, anything that you can think of, yeah, just take them in. Alright, let's do the stage with these 11 operators on challenge mode. NL-S-3. Now deploy as you see, and as I'm going to do. Place your Pioneer Vanguard first. Whenever your Vanguard skill are ready, then please go ahead and activate them. So for example, Motor is ready, then I'm going to put the next Pioneer Vanguard. Let's get your Pioneer Vanguard some healing. Place a Medic here. Place another Medic here. Following on, let's get Scavenger's skill up, and then place a Arts Guard over here. Okay, I'm gonna place Blaze this time, right over here. And then, I'm gonna use Gravel to hold this Sniper back. You're gonna see the caster target onto Gravel. So, when this happens, you get the free easy stuff to do. This is like a nice timing to deploy some other operators. So I'm going to put a caster here facing to the right. And then let me turn on Courier's skill. I get some DP. Let's switch Courier out for a Lord, as you see. And then you can remove Gravel if you want. She's not needed anymore. And then you can place a Defender over here facing to the right. Just like that. Let's get Susuro's skill up so that she can help to heal Scavenger much better. And I'm gonna remove Myrtle because she's not needed anymore. Alright, simple stuff. So for now, not all too bad. Things function as they are. Gonna turn on Cardigan's skill. Help with the healing there. Let the casters just target onto Cardigan. When you need to pay attention is when Viviana appears. So Viviana is out of her box. Let's place a fast redeploy over here. Notice there are no crabs onto Scavenger now. When that happens, you can remove Scavenger. Let's remove fast redeploy as well. Now notice another caster has appeared. What you'll do is place another distraction. So you can put your fast redeploy if you want to. Or if not, you can follow me and place a Vanguard to distract. And then you'll notice the 2 casters on the left are targeting onto the Vanguard. You can remove. Let's do the same thing. Let's place a fast redeploy. Now, notice the top lane now has 2 shielders and about enemy count 42. Use Irene skill. And let's remove the fast redeploy now that the casters on the left, the 2 of them, have targeted onto Gravel. I'm gonna place another distraction. I'm gonna place Myrtle this time. If Myrtle gets killed and all, it's fine. Let's distract again with a fast redeploy. As you see, I get the skill up for Cardigan. And I'm gonna get my medic skill up as well to kind of help with the healing in the middle there. I'm gonna place another distraction. I'll put a Vanguard there. If the Vanguard gets killed, again I'll use another distraction. Oh, but the Vanguard is not killed, so I'll keep the Vanguard there. You'll notice that all the enemies have snapped onto Cardigan. You can remove a Vanguard now. Not much of a use anymore. Now we gotta do some patient waiting here. We're waiting for Viviana to be killed by Blaze. So you can easily replace all the operators that you see here with higher rarity. If you've got better medics and if you have a Nightingale module, for example, that's gonna be amazing because you can give resistance onto the defender in the middle. And if you have people like Taunts or you have a stronger arts card like Surtur, I can imagine it will be much easier to handle this stage. Now 4 casters appear on the left. Let's use a distraction. We'll place Gravel over there and you'll notice all 4 of them are targeting onto her. You can remove Gravel now. It's as simple as that. A lot of crabs are coming in, so go ahead and turn on Irene's skill to help to get rid of the crabs. I'm going to use the medic skill again to do that as well. Now, these casters have a shorter range as compared to the red color ones. To get them to still target onto your distraction, I'll place a Vanguard over here or fast redeploy, whichever they want, right on that tile. And you'll notice that all of them will be targeting onto Courier. Courier will get killed though, which is sad, but it's fine. And as simple as that, that's how you can get all of the enemies of the stage killed. So shouldn't be too difficult to follow of a guide. The amount of distraction that you need to do is not as heavy as Ifrit, and you don't get that impact of maybe say placing a defender in the middle and then afterwards the explosion affecting everybody else all around. So hopefully this is an easy guide for you guys to follow. If you've got any questions or troubles that you face in the stage, just let me know now in the comments. Alright, that's that for NL-S-3. I shall see you guys in NL-S-4 to come. Alright, bye everyone!